Hi guys. I had a thought today, and as gold is approaching all time high, the S&P 500 in America is approaching all time high. Bitcoin is about 20% of its all time high. I'm trying to think, where in the world can you make money? Because if you're working a full time job, at least in Australia, you have so many bills on top of mortgage or your rent that you really don't have much money to invest. And if you only have $500 to invest, you know if you invest in gold now, look at how long it's taken for it just to double in price. When it's 2,500, but if you look when it was last time, it was half of that, which is 100% gain. So if you only have $500, it only becomes $1,000. So it becomes pretty hard. But look, this was 7 years ago. 7 years to double your money. Does it really keep up with inflation? I argue not, because if you go back even further, like back here, it was also around nearly $2,000. So the only way you could have made some real good money is if you dollar cost average in bought all along over here, and then even then you've waited 15 years to make money. So if you want to double your money again in gold, which has a market cap of 15 trillion, like for gold to go to $5,000, it's going to take at least another 5 years, 10 years. And honestly, I think in 5, 10 years, a 100% gain, isn't going to change your life much, considering how fast inflation is. So because S&P is at 5,500, again, you need S&P to double, and there is a rule of diminishing returns when it comes to investing. The higher things go up, the less upside there is. And so that's why we do see crashes from time to time, because the cartel, whoever is behind, all the big whales who are behind controlling the market, which we know there is, it's up to them when that happens. So the only real upside asset, as I see, is Bitcoin, because you can't have gold, because gold is at all time high. It's already high market cap. The stock market is already high market cap. You can't pick small stocks, because 99% of the S&P 500 is basically failing, and it's only carried by like what, five companies: Nvidia, Microsoft. Those tech companies are all pumping the S&P 500, and the rest are just failing. So if gold's you can't make a lot of money in gold. You can't make a lot of money in S&P 500, and of course there's real estate. But as an Australian, I'm pretty sure everywhere in the West that you need a high salary to be able to service a mortgage at the moment, and not there's a lot of stress that's involved with mortgaging, servicing such a mortgage. So if you want to be wealthy when you're 60, 65, at your retirement age, and still have a healthy body and be able to retire, then that's fine if you want a safe and stable way to get there. But if you want to be wealthier earlier in life, you know the barriers to entry to property is just way too high. Gold is way too high now. S&P 500 is way too high. They're all inflated. House prices are bigger than ever before. They're not really obtainable for the average person. You need two incomes. You need two people to service that loan, and God forbid that you break up or get divorced or whatnot. So my strategy is to basically be all in on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has a market cap of 1.1 trillion. Okay, gold has a market cap of 15 trillion. So gold is 15 times bigger than Bitcoin. But if you think about it, if you do 100 hours of research in Bitcoin, and you think about it in retrospect, Bitcoin has a little upside here. Bitcoin is 94% diluted. So not 94% of the coins are already out there. And if it's holding this well up, okay, it's above 50k. If we zoom in, Bitcoin is holding 55k very well here. You can see 94% diluted. There's only 6% of supply coming in over the next 100 years. So there's basically no inflation. Okay, we have billionaires buying Bitcoin. we have countries buying Bitcoin, and we have pension funds buying Bitcoin. There's an ETF. It's becoming mainstream, and I see that Bitcoin is the one that can make you the biggest return on your money if you don't want to be wealthy. If you want to be wealthy before 60 or 70 before retirement age, because that's my strategy. So the only way to make some real good money is to actually invest in Bitcoin and crypto, because this is the reality, is that you kind of have to take risk in this state of the world and the economy. If you don't take risk in this economy, you're going to end up living a very financially distressed life. So my philosophy is to get wealthier before that, and I think Bitcoin is the one. And once you do enough research, you know that Bitcoin and crypto is definitely here to stay. So if we reflect upon today's video, we know gold's too high. We know that property has too many barriers to entry. The returns are not going to be as quick as Bitcoin, and you have to service a mortgage for a long time, and you may even need a second income. And God forbid that if you lose your job, you may even lose your house, and it's a lot of stress. Yes, Bitcoin is volatile, but um, the results really prove that it's an asset that is here to stay. And because it's 94% diluted, we can see that there's a buy pressure. And the liquidity on the exchanges are at an all-time low, as low as 2018. So as low as here in 2018, this is how much Bitcoin is on the exchanges right now. But the price is way higher. So what it means is, if there's less liquidity on exchanges, it means that whales can kind of manipulate the price more. But that's also bad for the downside, but it's also good for the upside, because if billionaires come in and buy on exchanges, it will really it can really send the price higher very quickly. And the people who are behind markets and the whales, they're probably in some private group somewhere. There's probably like 10, 20 of them billionaires. They all could buy or sell at the same time. They probably use 100x leverage on exchanges. These people are going to send it. I mean, they've probably been accumulating down here. And if you're, you got to get in before it's too late, guys. Got to get in before it's too late.